All right, let's finish this video with the next less like set of words and stuff like that for the advanced people. So going down the list, right? Kaamgid, kapareho, right? It's showing similarity, similarities of the words, or similarities of a concept or something like that. Kaamgid, kapareho, okay, but they're just the same, similar, or there's some sort of similarity between something or among something. Puohon, okay, puohon is to exterminate or to get rid of completely everything, right? So it could be like to exterminate a species, to get rid of, I don't know, like ethnic cleansing, stuff like that, to exterminate, to just get rid of things, like maybe to get rid of ants, cockroaches, people, stuff like that. Sagmuyo, and it means to be pensive or speechless from disappointment. Now, pensive and speechless. So this is a perfect example where you were arguing with somebody and somebody else argued back and gave the correct reason, and then you realized that you were wrong and you just became quiet and you shut up because you were wrong. All right, and then you were pondering and thinking about, like, wow, you got that realization that he was correct or she was correct, and this is that meaning, sagmuyot, right? So I told you something, you were arguing, and I told you something that was true, and then you couldn't argue back, right? You could not argue back because you know it was true, and so you were ashamed and you felt guilty and you felt disappointed because it was right. So sagmuyot, and it's anything from disappointed, really. So you could have been in a contest or something like that, and you lost a contest, or you just lost something, like you were a loser in some sort of game, all right, and then you became pensive and speechless, and from the disappointment you were just quiet because you were shocked that you lost, or you were disappointed, right? So that's what it kind of means, sagmuyo. Don't forget that glottal stop at the o, sagmuyo. Walay nahut, right? Walay nahut is a fixed expression, right? Nahut is just like the leaves of some sort of plant. But walay nahut, when we put it in that expression, we mean it to be that you're penniless, you don't have money, right? You're penniless, you're rock bottom poor, okay? Very, very poor, that you can't be poor anymore because you're the poorest of the poor. Walay nahut, like, ooh, you're broke as fuck. The next one we have is bidlisiw, okay? Bidlisiw. So bidlisiw is the kaning bidlisiw, hayag sa adlaw. So whenever you open the window, right? Or when you open the curtains and stuff, right? It's that shining rays of light from the sun. Hayag sa adlaw, the rays of the sun, or the sun rays. Pinulongan, or pungol, right? Pungol. Don't forget the internal pause, right? They mean the same thing. Pungol or pinulongan, or pulong, right? Pulong, it just means to prune or to trim your plants, right? You're just, cutting and you're trimming the plant into a shape you want, or the style or fashion you want. Luok means the bay in geographical terms, right? So in geographical terms, we have like a bay, a seaside, and then there's a bay. Luok is what we call as a bay, or what we know as a bay. Kahimatngon, right? Kahimatngon is the realization or self-awareness that you discovered at the moment, right? You're just self-realization or self-awareness that, oh, you became aware about something. So this can be an example back to the sagmuyo, like you realize that you were wrong, you realize that they were right, and you should be listening to them, etc., etc. Kahimatngon is that feeling of self-realization, like, ooh, oh, I just realized that, or I just found that out, that you realize and you found out something, right? That realization, oh, okay, I realize that I realize, or I am aware of this and that, and etc. Like you were made aware of something, or you were aware of something, right? Tukma, okay, tukma. Tukma is precise or exact, like at the precise hour, at the exact answer, or the exact place and time, like the precise 100% exact thing, right? So maybe your watch isn't precisely correct, you know. Dili tukma. So tukma, don't forget the glottal. Tanghaga. Okay, so tanghaga is a tigmo. So tigmo is a riddle, okay, or some sort of puzzle, or some sort of joke, riddle, puzzle, clues, something like that, right? Tanghaga is a similar thing. It's a riddle or some sort of puzzle or some sort of joke, or maybe even I don't know what else is out there that might be funny and frustrating at the same time. But yeah, like some sort of puzzle or joke, something like that. Um, Huyohoi, okay, so huyohoi is just a gust of wind or a breeze, okay? Huyohoi, like it came and you felt it. Huyohoi, that gust of wind or that breeze that you felt. Now, hayahai is similar to huyohoi in that hayahai is a feeling of being relieved and refreshing, right? So something that's very light and very airy, very light and airy. It's a feeling of being relieved and just relaxing and not stressful, right? Maybe you had so many problems and you unloaded all those problems anymore, you know. Hayahai is that way of expressing that, oh, you feel more relieved now. Or maybe you left a room and now it's all airy and breezy, huyohoi, now you feel all hayahai, oh, you know, in that manner. So that's kind of like two words that can go hand in hand. Kahiladman, okay, kahiladman is like the deepest depths, okay? So the root word here is lalom. Now notice how it was conjugated, kahiladman. So like lalom meaning deep, right? But in the deepest of the depths, like maybe the depths of the ocean, the deepest depths of the ocean, or the deepest depths of the world, or the deepest depths of your love, of your heart, you know, from the depths or from the bottom of something, right? The most bottom thing ever, right? So kahilad man. Lindog is punoan. And we know that punoan is the part of the tree that is called the tree trunk. So punoan, right? Because the entire tree itself is called kahoy, where we get wood, right? Kahoy is a tree. We can get kahoy, right? Which is also known as wood, right? But the specific part of the tree is a trunk, which is punoan, and the root word is puno, right, which is I think a Proto-Austronesian word or some sort of cognate from another language, right? But puno, and we have this affix an at the end. But there's a more indigenous term for that, and it's lindog, and lindog is the branch of the tree that's not branched, or the part of the tree that's not branched. Ipok is your undergarments, you know, what you wear, underwear, what you wear underneath you, undergarments, ipok. Amgo, okay, so amgo is to be aware of something or to recognize something. Like, oh, I recognize my mistake. I recognize where I was wrong. I'm aware that I'm being loud. I'm aware of her issues, of her problems, right? Now, amgo is similar to kahimatngon, except kahimatngon is more for yourself, like your own self-realization, rather than I was aware that the door was open. You see? So there's a difference between those two. It's similar but different, so watch out. Makuli. Makuli is the struggle, or to have a hard time doing something, to struggle doing something, right? Oh, I'm having a hard time doing this. I'm struggling with doing that, right? And this is more like because there's probably an obstacle in front of you, or there's just something that's making it difficult for you to complete a task, or you're just having a hard time with doing something, right? Kuli. There's other meanings for kuli, such as, you know, not wanting to do something, being you know, unwillingness or etc. But for this case, in the verbal case, it's the struggle of doing something or having a hard time doing something because of something else that's going on. Gihimugso, gihimugso is to bring into life or to give rise or to give birth to something, right? Now, this is just a general term. Okay, now we can use this to express someone who's giving birth, right? Oh, like as in a human or an animal that's giving birth to someone. Gihimugso, we can use that. But there are other verbs for that too. Remember, we have natawo or gipanganak and all those kind of things that we can express for birthdays and giving birth, stuff like that, right? Natawo, gipanganak, etc., right? Gihimugso can express that too, but himugso is that root word. This is more of a general term, right? look, it means to bring into life or to give rise, right? It doesn't just mean to give birth to, but to give rise or to bring into life something. So this could be like maybe a town was risen, or a town or a city was something was gave rise to a city, and the city was thriving. It was brought into life because maybe there was a river or some sort of economic boom or something, right? So it can be used in that manner. Gihimugso. It can also be used in a way where um, in life in general, like, her life was given rise because of just more benefits going on, etc., right? So something was thriving in a way. To thrive or bring life into, maybe there was her, like, a living room was looking ugly, right? And then after a while someone redecorated it, they gave rise to it. Oh, it was brought into life, and now the living room looks more decorated and fancy. So gihimugso can be used like that. uh, Bangag is a hole, or to make, or to have holes on something, right? You make holes on just something, or there's a hole, like maybe holes on your teeth for not taking care of it. There's holes on the ground, you're digging holes. Okay, bangag, or bangag, I should say, bangag. And then finally we have taman, which can mean hangtud, or kutob, which means until a certain time, until a certain place, until something, until a limit. There's a limit until something, right? Until. And down here, I just want to review some really random words. So paagda, right? Paagda, paimbita, right? So paimbita, to invite. Paagda is to invite over, and have a good time, have some company. Paimbita, paagda. Agda meaning, oh yeah, come on over, we'll eat together, or we'll just have some company together. Paimbita, to come over. Imbita is more of the borrowed word, and agda is more of the indigenous word. So we have an indigenous and a borrowed Spanish word. Bukag is a basket, just a general word for any basket, whether it's, woven, bought, whatever, plastic, whatever, right? Bukag. Kabag is you're getting stomach cramps, stomach aches, abdominal aches. Maybe it's related to flatulence, or maybe it's because you need to fart, or maybe a bad diarrhea. You ate something bad. It's like a tummy ache, just like something really bad. And kabag is that word to describe it. Finally, padayon. Okay, padayon means to continue. Now, dayon, the root word dayon, means now, like immediately or now. But if we verb it, or we make it into a verb with the causative, with this causative pa, right? To making it now, it changes the meaning to from now to continue, like to make it keep going as of now. Like, I guess in a way we can say to, like, now, or nowing, in a way. It's weird, nowing, like to make it now, or to make it nowing, or causing it to do now. It's weird, but we know it as to continue. And that's all for this one.